Mute. Hello,
Hi.
welcome to Conversations with T. This is Conversations That Matter. My name is Tee Adeyemo. This is a space where we talk about ideas, people, and stories shaping our communities. So he's not a guest. It's not the first time you're seeing him. Today I'm joined by Councillor Jon Morgan. He represents Ward Ipikokapi Niosi. I think I got that right. One of Edmonton's fastest growing and most vibrant areas, home to families in neighborhoods like Chappelle, Rutherford, Heritage Valley, Allard. And in today's edition, we're going to be talking about what's happening across the world, the big infrastructural challenges at the Heritage Valley, community events, and how everyday Edmontonians can stay involved and can stay informed and involved. Counselor, that sounds really nice.
It does.
Councillor Morgan, doesn't it?
It does, and it's been a long time coming, T. So I'm happy to own it now. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. It has a nice ring to it. It's no longer Jon Morgan, it's just Councillor Morgan. How are you, sir?
Yeah, that's okay. John is fine too. It's fine. So I'll take it. So I'm really good. How are you doing, T?
John is good. Yeah, I'm well. Thank you so much for having your first conversation here on Ladies Corner, where we do politics, we do everything, and it suits you. Look at you glowing.
Yeah. Well, it's great to be back. I always enjoy my time on Ladies Corner, and I always like to support your good work here. I think it's an important voice for the community. So I'm happy to be on here.
So you're well rested from the elections, and
No.
of course, we now know the voter turnout was 30.41%. Well, not brilliant, and you won with 36.81% votes, or 6,406 votes. How did it feel winning that night?
Well, I mean, it took like 3 nights, 3 days, 3 nights to finally get the
Same
results.
thing.
I think it was about 3 days. So,
I see.
it was good. I was very calm that week leading up to it. I was very nervous, but and just just full of anxiety. Like I didn't know which way it was going to go, but the week of, I just kind of it was what it was. We did everything we could do to make it happen, and backed by a great team, just fantastic team. My campaign manager Frederick, and my volunteer director Shade, and my strategic advisor Tyson, and just tons of volunteers that were really backing me as well. Like it was such a team effort, and it was the reward at the end of it, right? So I couldn't be happier. So
As Jennifer Rice called you to wish you well, or the post on Instagram?
I haven't heard from Jennifer, no, but I'm sure at some point I will. So,
all right, fair enough. So let's talk about the new council. How are you guys blending? You have Mr. Knack as your leader.
We do have Mr. or Mayor Knack now.
Oh, so,
I've known Mayor Knack for quite a few years now. I've known the family for even longer. I actually went to high school with a couple of his cousins. My sister-in-law was roommates with his sister. I've known the family for years, so I'm happy to work with him. And he's a very collaborative leader and willing to listen and change his mind if need be. And I think these are all things you want to see in a leader. The rest of council is great too. They've been very supportive of me and my rookie-ness of very first time joining council. What's that?
Is it a lot of work?
It is a ton of work, and I had anticipated that, but even still, they just kind of throw you right into the deep end. Something I keep hearing from people is that you're drinking from the fire hose when you're there, right? So it's just there's just so much information. I'm already getting lots of constituent emails from people, trying to stay on top of that. But if I haven't gotten back to you yet, I'm sorry. We're working through it, and myself and my staff now as well. So, but
I mean, on my other computer, I added things that you ran on: accountability, community champion, being experienced, affordability, infrastructure, and public safety.
Absolutely.
So what are the main themes? I know it's early days yet, but do you have a sense of what initially you'll be tackling? Is it affordability? or public?
Yeah. So I mean, I think for me, like the first thing I'd be kind of, I'm already having conversations about is that infrastructure piece, and I mean, I believe you still live in the Heritage Valley. I live in the Heritage Valley. There's, you know, a real problem with our roadways, our congestion down here, capacity issues, and I'll be looking for ways to work with my council colleagues, with administration, with and developers too, and just trying to find ways that we can, you know, increase that capacity on our roadways, make sure our transportation network's up to speed, making sure there's options for people getting our transit to where it needs to be in this area. I'm really supportive of LRT, obviously. I mean, you know, I've worked for transit and LRT for 15 years, transit for 18 years. You know, I think that'll help with a lot of things, making sure our multimodal pathways are up to speed, and again, just that transportation piece as well, just or the roadway piece as well, making sure that the roadways can handle and the amount of traffic that we're seeing, and you know, these are all kind of components of the bigger picture. So 41 Ave will be, if I can do anything.
I don't know, what can you do on 41 Ave? Which way would you extend it though?
Well, I'm not talking about extending, but I am talking about twinning, and I think you know, I think we have to be serious about that. We have at least 7 communities. You know, Kendall's starting to south of Keswick there is starting to be looked at for development as well, and so we got a Walmart coming to Chappelle. Just a lot more development coming this way, and a lot of people relying on that major arterial. So looking for ways that we can get that thing twinned, and not just piecemeal. And that's what I said in the campaign too. You know, we've been kind of piecemealing all these twinning of roads as we go, but it's really just, we need to be big picture, just get this thing done so that people can get home safely, go to work safely. We're seeing people cutting through neighborhoods, cutting through you know,
I think there is
41 Ave as well. So
there is a conversation to be had, definitely, around infrastructure in that area. I live here in Beaumont, by the way, not in.
Oh, you're in Beaumont now? I thought you were in Chappelle for some reason. Were you in
Chappelle
Chappelle before?
I was in Chappelle, but Chappelle got pretty expensive. So
okay. You didn't tell me you moved, T.
I've moved for 2 years.
You didn't invite me to your housewarming. So.
Well, it's not too late.
No, okay, good. Right on.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, okay.
But no, my sister lives in Chappelle. She used to live in Chappelle, so I have friends everywhere in that area. So when I first got to this Edmonton, I lived in that area, Ward Ipikokanai POC. So I know the area as well. So what does a day in your life look like as councillor? Like, do you get people to make your tea and coffee now?
No way.
The subway, and then you leave the office at 4. What does it look like being a councillor, sir?
Well, so I mean, I've been councillor for about a week and a half now, I guess. Well, I guess a week and a half. I guess we got sworn in on October 29th, but you know, I started the Friday before moving into the office, and we're doing a lot of onboarding, a lot of training sessions. I think for our returning counselors, it's a refresher. For me, it's brand new, and just kind of learning the processes, learning the rules. There's a lot of legalities to the job. I've hired an executive assistant who's been with me pretty close to the start. We just hired a senior council assistant as well, who will be starting next week, towards the end of the week. And you know, it's definitely a team effort. In terms of my own ward office, Ward of Picokini-Piutsi's office, because it's not the John show. It's definitely, you know, we got to work together.
Absolutely.
The amount of work that comes to us in that office is immense. Whether it's handling constituent concerns or prepping for meetings, or you know, getting rundowns on what's coming up, advocating for our constituents, and kind of navigating city processes. So I've been doing that. As I said, I've been learning a lot. I've been having some community visits. I spent most of this morning meeting with constituents in the area, and then been also at community league meetings. I was at the opening of the O'Dayman Park downtown. I don't know if you've heard
that on your Instagram. That was
absolutely.
really nice. Yeah, you're on the swing.
Yeah,
Looks really nice.
look at the map for that thing. It's amazing. So
Yeah.
yeah. So and I think that I mean I'm off on a tangent here, but going that Ward O'Damon Park is going to be a real catalyst for development in the downtown, which is what we need if we want to talk about
Mm.
revitalizing our downtown, bringing
Mm.
people in, having amenities for people, things to do. Um, I think it's going to be a nice addition to that area. So
So you've been in the community and people have been emailing Jon.Morgan at Edmonton.ca.
that is my email.
Yeah, you said so just now that people are emailing you. What are some of the things they're telling you? Is it about their concerns around events, infrastructure? What is it they're telling the new councillor? You want to
Well,
share
they're definitely hitting those points that we talked about in the campaign.
that?
And kind of things that I was eager to address is what people are still concerned about, right? And so, I'm hearing a lot about 103 A Street and Ellerslie Road, which is honestly still a big pinch point. There's been some upgrades to it, but I think we're going to have to really look at how the movement of traffic is in that area. I hear lots about that spot. To be honest with you, 41 Ave is another one
Mhm.
that people are expecting some movement on this term, and so yeah, I'm hearing lots about that stuff. Those are the big ones that I've heard about so far, and kind of continued. There's also a couple of rezoning applications going on in our neighborhood, and if you want just the real specifics of what's going on, we have a couple of rezoning applications, one in McEwen and then one in Steinhauer as well. And so the engagement for that is ongoing, and I'm happy to share those details with anybody if they want to email me, or if you want me to put them up on
I
this.
think
I
it's
don't
on
know, but
the I've seen something about the rezoning. And
yeah.
so I think the key thing also with your office and Edmontonians is communications. How do you intend to filter to get things out? And we've been talking about this. Will you be podcasting is good. Have you thought about doing that maybe weekly? What Jon Morgan has been up to, where people can go. What are your thoughts around that?
Yeah, you know what? Like I think communication and engagement has been a challenge at times for the city and at times this ward as well. It's going to be a real centerpiece for us. I think just making sure that people have the information they need to feel like they're part of the process. And so we're still in the early days of that. Developing that communications plan. You and I have talked about it off camera here about a little bit of maybe having a regular time here on LCC Media,
Oh
but
yeah,
yeah.
that'll
So
be
that would be great if we could do that. But I think I'm pretty serious about engaging with our community leagues. My history with community leagues and how much I value the volunteers and the organizations there. I think there's a lot of more potential than maybe we're giving it credit for. There's an infrastructure piece there too of community leagues across our city and across our ward that we can definitely utilize to make sure that people feel engaged and empowered and have that voice. So I'll be looking to that, leaning on that, and trying to help those things along. Being here, we're looking at a lot of social media channels, newsletters as well. Hopefully, we're going to get up here right away.
yeah.
And but definitely open to some more suggestions around some of that too. So.
Okay, I know you've been barely 7, 8, 9 days on the job, and this is probably just gauging where you are at. What are some of the projects that you will be working on that we can get excited about? And please don't say 41 Avenue.
Don't say 41 Ave. Okay, well, it was
Anything else?
it was nice having the interview today. So I guess we'll wrap it there. So no, you know what, I'm going to be talking with I'm planning some meetings with our administration here right away. 41 Ave is a big one, but again, I mean that's probably the biggest. But I think I'd like to see where we're at with 103 A Street as well, and I think there's more work to be done. Just a lot of roadway projects. So Allard, the entrance to Allard, the south end there. I think there needs to be some further eyes on that intersection, especially by the Tim Hortons. you can expect that that Heritage Valley Park is still coming along. I'm very supportive of our LRT, and
Okay.
I'm going to be watching that. I've been in kind of communications with our branch manager there and Ledcor, and kind of making sure that hoping that stays on track, literally and figuratively. So making sure that it does get delivered by 2029. Which we needed down in Heritage Valley, and then looking beyond to that to Des Rochers, which is again I'm hearing a lot. I've also been talking to our counterparts in provincial, and I share constituents with two provincial MLAs and two MPs as well from the federal level, and so I've got one meeting set up with our MLA down this way, and I'm looking to reach out to the other three as well to make sure that we have some communication there and kind of see where our shared interests are. So
that sounds all exciting. It's all early days, but I was kind of hoping there's some Christmas events, that people can come along to, some Christmas singing, this and that. But that's good. If you could fast forward 4 years, what kind of progress would you love to see across the board? So let's assume this is 2029.
mm-hmm.
And you're looking back, what sort of progress would you be proud to say you've been associated with or you've worked very hard to get?
Well, again, I mean, I'm going to keep coming back to 41 Ave, but I think we also need to, I'm going to be leaning on our provincial counterparts for some movement on Twin Brooks access as well. With that LRT coming south, I am pretty concerned about both entrances being blocked off by rail, and so I'm going to see where we can get some movement on that as well, and making sure that there's a kind of a third point of access for people, emergency vehicles, and residents as well, just to get in and out of that neighborhood. Should LRT or crossing gates or anything like that obstruct the access points. So roadway infrastructure and like, I guess infrastructure in general in the Southwest is just a major sticking point for me, and honestly what I've been hearing from residents from the start, prior to the election. So
okay, thank you so much for that. On a lighter note, what is your favorite hidden gem in your ward? Maybe a cafe, community event, or a park that deserves a shout out?
favorite eating place?
Yeah, an hidden gem.
You know what, I really like well, I mean, I had my community meetings today at Bee Coffee at Century Park. I do love going there. I had a number of events during the election there as well, and it's locally owned. A fantastic couple from Blue Quill that own that cafe. Great food in there as well. Great coffee. There's a couple other great coffee shops in this neighborhood though too. In this ward, Wait Coffee in Twin Brooks, and the newest one is Tulip in Chappelle. I don't know if you've been there yet or not, T, when you're visiting your sister, but highly recommend.
Okay, we'll check it out.
Their chai latte is amazing. If you go to Bee Coffee, you get the hot apple cider. If you go to Tulip, you get the chai latte. So these are my recommendations to you. So
we'll check your recommendations out.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, John.
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
in terms, there's a final question here for you. In terms of your old team, because it's teamwork, right? You cannot do this job alone. You need the entire body of council.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What would you say is the top priority for Mayor Nax or for the entire team that you feel safe to comment on?
You know what? I think what I do love about Mayor Knack, and I think he's a good man, is that he is collaborative. He's empowering. Before we even got sworn in, he was making sure to have all of our he had a meeting with all of us individually to hear the concerns of what we got going on in our wards, right? And those are varied. We have all of us have projects that we want to work on, and I'm not going to speak for the other councillors, but I have heard from some of them about their projects that they would love to see, and then their residents would love to see as well. But so Mayor Knack was very receptive to that, and I think he'd like to see empower us to empower our constituents, and making sure that our priorities are met. So beyond that, I think he wants to see I guess I don't want to speak for him, but I think he wants to see a city that's engaged. So.
Okay, Councillor Morgan, you said to call you John. Thank you so much for
You
joining.
can still call me John T.
I think both is a mix. I kind of like the sound of Councillor Morgan. It's just something exciting, maybe a little sexy about it. I don't know yet, but
Okay.
I'll play with both and see what works.
Sure.
Thank you so much for joining me today and sharing what's ahead for what Epic Coconut POC. And to our viewers and listeners, thank you for tuning in to Conversations That Matter. If you live in the world, be sure to follow Jon Morgan on Instagram. I don't know if you want me to share your email.
Yeah, once again, Jon Morgan at edmonton.ca. Big shout out to you, T, and thanks for all you do for the community. It's really important. Big shout out to my council colleagues too, and their teams. They've been very welcoming, and we're gonna get in the weeds at some point here, probably sooner or later. But to start off, with the support that I've received, is that I'm walking in very green. I've had some governance experience and a lot of community building experience, but this is a big job, and I having a very welcoming environment to do it in, whether it's the city administration or the front end staff, or council assistants that are returning, and the other councillors and Mayor Knack as well. It's been very very nice to see. So you want to keep that going as long as possible. So, and shout out to my team too, my executive assistant Frederick, who's just keeping me on track and has more patience than I deserve to have bestowed on me, and and looking forward to bringing on our new staff member Iris too, who will be joining us next week. So it's a team effort, right? So community building. So
all right, so until next time, I'm Tee Adeyemo. Let's keep having conversations that matter. Thank you again very much, John, for joining in.
Thanks, T. Appreciate it.